about shape-shifting, where, I've had a lot of, laughter and ridicule, so what's bloody new about this? And people say, well, you can't go from a solid body to a solid body and back again. And I'm saying, do you know? I agree with you. Of course you can't. But that's not what's happening, because there is no solid body. It's all happening as a decoding system. There is no solidity. So what shape-shifting is you have a situation like this, and the front dominating from our perception of observation energy field is the human one. So we look at George Bush or somebody, and we see a human. But sometimes, especially at times of high emotion, this shift can happen where the reptilian field comes forward. And as it does so, becomes the dominant one, often briefly, the observer now starts decoding that. And then it shifts back, and you start decoding this. And to the observer, decoding that shift, creating the holographic reality in their head, which is where everything happens, to their observation, someone's gone from a human to a reptilian, and then back to human again.
Έτσι λοιπόν τους έχουν ονομάσει ως δρακόντιους, οι οποίοι δρακόντιοι, εδώ πέρα θα κάνουμε μία εξήγηση των ονομάτων τώρα. Οι δρακόντιοι λοιπόν είναι οι αρχιερπετοειδείς, οι οποίοι είχαν έρθει στη γη, οι οποίοι δεν μπορούν να μεταμορφωθούν και να πάρουν μορφή ανθρώπου. Αυτοί λοιπόν έφτιαξαν τους δρακονιανούς, όπου πάλι και αυτοί δεν μπορούν να αλλάξουν, να μεταμορφωθούν, όπου στην αρχή κατασκευάστηκαν από βιογεννητικοί για να μπορέσουν να υπηρετήσουν τους δρακόντιους αφέντες τους. Αυτοί λοιπόν με τη σειρά τους μετά έφτιαξαν υπογενέστερες ράτσες των δρακονιανών, όπως είναι η γνωστή γκρίζη, αλλά και φωτογραφίες, και θα δείτε μάλιστα φωτογραφίες οι οποίες έχω βάλει, διότι δεν μπορούμε να τους ονομάσουμε, διότι πραγματικά δεν ξέρουμε τα ονόματά τους. Βέβαια κάποιοι ερευνητές τους έχουν ονομάσει ως γκρίζος 1, γκρίζος 2, η γκρίζη υψηλή, η γκρίζη κοντή. Άλλοι τους έχουν ονομάσει ότι έχουν έρθει από τον Αλφα Δράκοντα, άλλοι τους έχουν ονομάσει ότι έχουν έρθει από την Αφροδίτη, από τον πλανήτη Δία, από τον Άρη και πάει λέγοντας. Η πιο σωστή όμως αναφορά είναι ότι έχουν φτιαχτεί βιογεννητικά και είναι τροποποιημένοι ώστε να μπορούν να εξυπηρετήσουν τα συμφέροντα των δρακόντιων στη γη. Το μόνο είδος το οποίο μπορεί να αλλάξει και να πάρει μορφή είναι τα λεγόμενα αλόιγκορς ή αλόιγκορς στα ελληνικά, τα οποία είναι έτσι φτιαγμένα βιογεννητικά ώστε να μπορούν να πάρουν την μορφή αυτήν την οποία την έχουν προγραμματίσει οι δρακόντιοι. Δηλαδή, τι εννοώ με αυτό? Δεν μπορούν να πάρουν οποιαδήποτε μορφή θελήσουν, αλλά μόνο σε αυτήν την οποία έχουν προγραμματιστεί. Έτσι λοιπόν, εδώ πέρα έρχεται η θεωρία που λένε ότι πολιτικοί, στρατιωτικοί, καλλιτέχνες και πολλοί ιδιαίτεροι άνθρωποι με θέσεις κλειδιά παντού, σε όλη τη γη, πλέον δεν είναι άνθρωποι, αλλά είναι αλοϊγκόρς. Δηλαδή έχουν πάρει στη θέση τους ένα είδος δρακονιανών, το οποίο ονομάζονται αλοϊγκόρς. Μάλιστα είναι η γνωστή θεωρία του David Icke, ο οποίος επιμένει και έχει απόλυτο δίκιο ότι η βασιλομήτωρ και όλο το βασιλικό γένος πρόκειται για μια πολύ αρχαία ράτσα δρακόντιων, η οποία ζει για χιλιάδες, για να μην πω εκατομμύρια χρόνια, στον πλανήτη Γη.
Navy had been involved with the German facilities in Antarctica and the Draco reptilian facilities in caverns in the Antarctica. And you have Draco reptilian guys running your governments of every country on your planet.
Of every government. There you go.
Wow.
That's quite a statement.
I mean,
Does that answer your question?
That answer.
I'm sorry. It's not what we want to hear. Your president, yes.
Oh, what? Which one? George Bush Sr.? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Bill Clinton and this guy you got just got
Obama?
rid of. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all were.
Right.
Okay. So, and they all have this ability to make themselves look like real good-looking people.
And you're saying Trump isn't one?
No, he's not.
Well,
Okay.
that's a relief.
And and he knows more about this subject than people realize.
Oh, excellent.
Traditions in numerous cultures of reptilian bloodlines associated with royalty. Japanese legends state the founder of the imperial dynasty, Jimmu, was the great-grandson of a dragon god. And in China, ancient emperors were described as having a dragon-like appearance.
The royal bloodline issue is one of which they believe that the heredity of certain individuals carried some form of a unique signature in their blood that was bestowed upon them by ancient reptilian human beings.
So let's ask this question. Why, throughout known human history, have there been certain families and bloodlines that have claimed to be superior to the rest of humanity? So superior that they have a right to rule over them. Why did Chinese emperors claim the right to rule because of their alleged descendants from the serpent gods? Why did the kings of Media, now Iran, why were they called the Dragon Dynasty of Media? Why is this constant theme unfolding all the way through history?
Me pictures, this is a common theme. Therapists working with satanically abused people, trying to get their minds back after all this abuse, and sexually abused people that have been in these mind control projects. And it's a very consistent theme that when these people who've been victims of this, they use a lot of drawing to try to draw out their memories. Again and again, what they draw are people with reptilian eyes. These are actually drawn by a satanically abused person, and these were sent to me with their permission by their therapist. Again, Roman Polanski was talking from knowledge, shall I put it, when he made that film Rosemary's Baby in the 60s with Mia Farrow. And for anyone who doesn't know about that, if you can get hold of a copy, it's worth watching. Mia Farrow is pulled in unknowingly because they want her to interbreed with one of these non-human entities to give birth to a child of the bloodline. And this satanic group get hold of her and they put her under mind control, and they impregnate her and stuff. And towards the end of the film, when she starts to realize what's going on, she goes into this apartment where it all went on. Her memories start to come back, and she sees the baby she gave birth to in a non-conscious state. And you have a quick flash of it in the movie, and it's a reptilian baby with reptilian eyes. Well, Polanski should know, let's put it that way.
Coast to Coast, George Norrie with you, John Rhodes. John, let's talk about these reptilians. In the biblical days, when, they said the devil came, and the description is kind of close to some of these reptilians. Is it possible that these demons, these devils, might be the reptilians?
I believe entirely that might be the case, because we have to see it from their historical point of view. They didn't know the term alien, or they weren't thinking of things that God could have created other than themselves.
Жан, по просьбе наших друзей, моргни, пожалуйста. Не так. Моргни. Спасибо. Надеюсь, вы довольны. Вы попросили? Извини, продолжим. Но меня также спрашивали, вместе с просьбой моргнуть, спрашивали, а много ли вас здесь, на планете Земля? Ответь, пожалуйста.
Да, больше, чем вам хотелось бы, но гораздо меньше, чем вы надеетесь.
То есть, в принципе, люди надеются на то, что внеземной разум, внеземные цивилизации спасут их. Опять вот этот поиск постоянного спасителя.
Одушевленно. Условия для существования человека — это душа, сознание и личность. И сознание находится между ними. И смысл как раз стать живым. Показываем, что она с нами. Поздоровайся с нашими друзьями.
Здравствуйте.
Как видите, Жанна с нами, все нормально, никуда не уехал. Я извиняюсь. Пожалуйста, продолжим.
И космологии в частности, о самой яркой звезде, созвездия Большого Пса, о звезде Сириус. И вот действительно мы нашли тому много подтверждений, упоминаний.
Η επόμενη φωτογραφία είναι από το Μίσιγκαν της Αμερικής, όπου έχουν τραβηχτεί καρέ-καρέ περίεργα φώτα σε ένα μέρος ορεινό, το οποίο στο τέλος δείχνει να υπάρχουν δύο εξωγήινες οντότητες, η οποία είναι η μία κοντή και η άλλη ψηλή. Εάν παρατηρήσετε τις εικόνες σιγά σιγά, θα δείτε ότι από ένα φως αρχίζουν και υλοποιούνται πάνω στο βράχο και μένουν σταθεροί. Η επόμενη φωτογραφία είναι από το Σέφρεν της Φλόριντα των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών, όπου δείχνει το τόσο περίεργο φαινόμενο από καταβόθρες, οι οποίες ανοίγουν σε πολλά σημεία της γης, το ανεξήγητο φαινόμενο δηλαδή των τρυπών, που γίνεται μια τεράστια τρύπα και χάνει το έδαφος, και οι επιστήμονες, οι γεωλόγοι λένε ότι γίνεται διάβρωση του εδάφους και γι' αυτό το λόγο βουλιάζει. Εάν όμως παρατηρήσετε καλά στις φωτογραφίες τις οποίες έχω δώσει, κάποιοι ερευνητές λένε ότι δεν είναι έτσι τα πράγματα και έχουν δώσει μάλιστα ζωγραφιστές φωτογραφίες, γιατί δεν πρόκειται για αληθινές φωτογραφίες, από ό,τι όντα βγαίνουν εκεί μέσα. Εάν τώρα παρατηρήσετε καλά στην τρύπα την οποία υπάρχει, θα δείτε ότι υπάρχει ένα παράξενο όν, το οποίο ή προσπαθεί να μπει ή προσπαθεί να βγει. Το συγκεκριμένο όν δεν είναι καθόλου ανθρώπινο και φαίνεται στις φωτογραφίες και έχει μάλιστα έναν κόκκινο κύκλο, ώστε για να το παρατηρήσετε καλύτερα όσοι θέλετε.
Ο Αμερικανός συγγραφέας Edgar Rice Burroughs έγραψε επίσης το έργο του «Στην καρδιά της γης» για την ύπαρξη ενός υπόγειου κόσμου που κυριαρχείται από ερπετά που υποτάσσουν τους ανθρώπους. Υπάρχουν και άλλα στοιχεία που επιβεβαιώνουν την ύπαρξη αυτών των ειδών που μοιάζουν με ερπετοειδείς στο εσωτερικό του πλανήτη μας. Τη δεκαετία του 1990, μια ομάδα σπηλαιολόγων αποφάσισε να εξερευνήσει σπήλαια και σπηλιές γύρω από το Μιζούρι και το Αρκάνσας. Σε μια τέτοια σπηλιά άκουσε ήχους και ισχυρίστηκε ότι είδε μια παράξενη μηχανή που έμοιαζε με καρότσι του γκολφ και έναν άνθρωπο σαύρα ύψους 2 μέτρων. Το πρόσωπο και το κεφάλι είχαν σχήμα ανθρώπου, αλλά με επίπεδη μύτη, χωρίς αυτιά και χωρίς μαλλιά. Το ανώτερο μέρος του κεφαλιού είχε ένα φωλιδωτό σχήμα ή ένα είδος κορυφογραμμής που εκτεινόταν στο πίσω μέρος του λαιμού, ενώ τα χείλη και τα μάτια ήταν ασυνήθιστα μεγάλα. Το ερπετοειδές πλάσμα είχε ουρά περίπου 1,5 μέτρο και ήταν καλυμμένο με ένα σκούρο πράσινο χρώμα. Πολύ έκπληκτος από αυτό που είδε, ισχυρίστηκε μάλιστα ότι τράβηξε μερικές φωτογραφίες του πλάσματος, λίγο πριν αυτό στραφεί προς το μέρος του. Σφυρίζοντας, η εμπειρία του σπηλαιολόγου χρησιμεύσε για να επιβεβαιώσει την ύπαρξη παράξενων πλασμάτων που ζουν στο εσωτερικό της γης.
Bishopville, South Carolina, June 1988, 2 a.m. 17-year-old Christopher Davis had pulled over on a deserted road near Scape Ore Swamp to fix a flat tire. Just as he finished, he heard a noise behind him. He saw a strange, 7-foot-tall creature with red glowing eyes running towards him. Davis started to drive away, but the creature caught up with him and jumped on the roof of the car. Swerving hard to throw the creature off, he saw it had 3 fingers and green skin. Finally, it fell from the car, and Davis sped away.
And he ended up getting out of where he was, and he went immediately home. He was so upset that his parents called the police department. Sheriff Liston Truesdale actually went out there and interviewed him. He asked him to take a lie detector test, and this young boy passed the lie detector test with flying colors.
What Christopher Davis told the detective he saw was a lizard man.
And what's interesting is that the police took the story very, very seriously. Although Christopher Davis's sighting of the lizard man was certainly the most famous and infamous one, it's not the only one. They tracked down a number of other witnesses who both previously and after had seen the lizard man.
In the spring of 1988, a crop duster named Frank Mitchell reported seeing what he said was a lizard man cross his grassy runway one morning as he was about to take off. And 2 years later, in 1990, Bertha Blythers and her 5 children claimed they nearly hit a lizard-like man while driving near the same swamp. Could these incidents all be related? Is it merely coincidence that 3 separate people on 3 separate occasions reported seeing a lizard man near the skateboard swamp?
The Andromedans tell you that the Alpha Draconans are here now. Where?
There are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. They've been here, some of them have been here a long, long time. They have lifespans that are thousands of years. They're carnivorous. They are not friendly to mankind, at least the ones that are here.
Are you saying carnivorous, they eat humans?
Yes. And they need to be, they won't eat a dead human, it has to be alive at the time of the killing. Their preference is children. You know, and we've been told, you shouldn't talk about that. You know, there are other people say, well, you better not talk about the reptilians. Well, you know, bull. You know, why not? According to the Andromedans, they're responsible for 31,712 children disappearing in the last 25 years from the United States. These children were food. And I'm supposed to just shut up and not say anything about it because people don't want to hear it? That's tough. That's tough. You know, Westchester County, in the last 5 years, 3,000 children in Westchester County, New York, have vanished without a trace. Where are they going? Why are we allowing this to happen?
Come up out of this from underground and do it, or do they have...
There are tunneling systems everywhere. They're being helped by the Greys, and also there are groups within the higher echelon that are actually helping them acquire this.
So human beings are abducting the kids and giving them to the Greys who in turn give them to the Alpha Draconans?
That's right. That's part of the deal. They won't come up as long as we feed them down there. You understand? It's about human beings selling themselves out. The echelon attitude here, the needs of the few outweigh the needs of humanity. And sorry, that just isn't right. You know, and I'm not coming from a fear space. I'm really quite angry about the apathy and the fact that, you know, when people give lectures and try to tell this, people want to stand up and fight with them. Look at what's happening around us. The indications are everywhere. Everywhere. The truth is now an obscure thing. You know, the lie is the norm.
Aside from the carnivorous aspect to the Alpha Draconans, why else are they dangerous to humanity?
Because they don't like us.
And what are they willing to do with humanity?
Eat us. There's no need for us. I mean, look at where we are. Look at us right now as a civilization, as a society. Okay? They don't need anything. They have all this technology that they want. We can't really offer them except maybe work, do some work for them. But they don't need all of us to work for them.
According to government insiders, located nearly 2 miles beneath the surface is indeed a secret subterranean military base known as the Dulce Air Force Base. The base is rumored to extend 7 levels underground, with the lowest levels occupied by extraterrestrial species. Whistleblower Phil Schneider claimed to have worked on the construction of these deep underground military bases for the U.S. government.
Phil Schneider was a very interesting geologist used by the U.S. government to do excavations of large areas under military contract where they were essentially going to be building large caverns and connecting underground passageways.
On May 8, 1995, Schneider gave a presentation in Post Falls, Idaho, and claimed he was attacked by extraterrestrials deep underground.
I was involved in 1979 in a horrendous firefight with alien-human type, whatever you want to call them. And I was one of the survivors. 66 Secret Service agents, FBI and the like, Black Berets died in that firefight.
According to Phil, at the time of his encounter, his team had been contracted to create an addition to the existing Dulce underground base. They were drilling holes deep into the ground and using explosives to create caverns. when they encountered numerous gray and reptilian aliens.
Basically what had occurred was that we surprised a whole under-mountain base of existing aliens, and later I was to find out that we are not the highest on the food chain.
Phil Schneider later described learning about genetic experiments conducted by the same extraterrestrial beings he encountered at Dulce Air Force Base. But sadly, he would never get the chance to provide further information. Just 8 months after his presentation in Post Falls, Philip Schneider was found dead in his apartment with rubber tubing wrapped around his neck. Those who knew him best were shocked when his death was ruled a suicide, and many insisted this was a cover story for an assassination.
Part of what I'm going to tell you is going to be very shocking.
If people had learned of what Phil Schneider was revealing, they would have understood that there had been agreements reached between the US government and some of these extraterrestrial civilizations, and that there were many individuals that were abducted and being subjected to all kinds of human experimentation at the Dulce base.
Los Angeles, California, January 1934. The Los Angeles Times publishes an article entitled "Lizard People's Catacomb City Hunted," accounting the attempt by mining engineer G. Warren Shufelt to locate and excavate a maze of tunnels which he believed were beneath the streets of downtown Los Angeles.
Warren Shufelt was a mining engineer, and he invented a device that he called the radio X-ray to be used for gold mining, and this device could find tunnels underground, and he actually created a map of the tunnels.
Included on Schufelt's map of tunnels were 16 places where he said he had located gold deposits. Shufelt gained momentum after meeting with a Hopi medicine man who told him the legend of the lizard people that live in underground cities. According to the legend, the lizard people carved out vast chambers large enough to house 1,000 families. Using advanced technologies, such as a mysterious chemical that could easily bore through bedrock. Shufelt obtained permission from the city and began digging to try and reach the vast tunnel system. The city council, perhaps motivated by the alleged gold that was contained within the tunnels, allowed Shufelt to dig a 250-foot shaft under the agreement that he would give them 50% of the treasure if recovered.
Warren Shufelt was a successful mining engineer, and it seems that he had some kind of connection at the Los Angeles Times, because the Times really followed the story. It was a story that caught the popular imagination.
After a month of digging and not reaching the tunnel system, Warren Shufelt and his team ran out of money and stopped the search. Perhaps further clues can be found by examining modern-day reports of encounters with strange beings emerging from caves. Quang Binh Province, Vietnam, 1991. Logger Ho Khan discovers a mysterious entrance to a hidden mountain cave obscured by dense jungle overgrowth. The cliffs leading down to the entrance are so steep he cannot explore it further, but he notes its location. Nearly 2 decades later, the British Cave Research Association finally explores the cave. What the team discovers is astounding. It is the largest underground chamber on the planet.
It's not just a cave. It's an actual world in Vietnam. Inside this cave, it's 40 stories high. There's actually an ancient forest. It's got flowing water, not just a puddle or a stream, but an actual river. inside the cave is an entire growing ecosystem. And it's so deep that it looks like it's an entrance to a whole other reality.
This incredible subterranean realm, called the Songdong Cave, is estimated to be roughly 3 million years old. It runs through the earth for nearly 6 miles, and numerous areas where the cave ceiling has collapsed allow sunlight to enter, resulting in the growth of trees and other vegetation. But according to area residents, what's most notable about Songdong Cave are the strange creatures that are believed to dwell within it.
Local residents describe seeing reptilian-type humanoid beings emerging from the Songdong Cave, and they believe that they actually lived deep inside this cave. What's fascinating about this is that these reptilian-type humanoid beings are similar to the seraphim or the winged serpents in Kabbalistic tradition. The seraphim are said to have gone and lived in the inner earth, according to Kabbalistic teaching.
Is it possible that reports of reptilians at Songdong Cave are encounters with beings from inner earth? While it may sound too incredible to be true, there have been reports that during the Vietnam War in the 1970s, U.S. soldiers encountered what they described as upright lizards inhabiting caves. And accounts of reptilian beings existing in underground caverns can be found all across the globe, even on the other side of the world, in Cusco, Peru.
Peru and around Cusco particularly. There are many, many stories of a tunnel system that has something to do with serpent deities, which they call the Amaru there. The Peruvian authorities themselves decided it was too dangerous for people to go into these tunnels, so they looked for all of the entrances they could around Cusco, and they sealed them up. And this is a well-known story within Peruvian history.
To Southeast Asia, another location where reptilian sightings have been reported is the area of Cusco, Peru, high in the Andes Mountains. According to the stories of the Inca and the even more ancient cultures that preceded them, a race of reptilian beings once inhabited this land. They even built some of the massive stone structures that still exist here today.
Oh wow, look at this.
All right, so...
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah. Is this the stone you were talking about then?
This is the head you can see.
So this is a serpent. This is the head of the serpent here?
It's around.
And how far does it go?
Yeah, just behind this wall.
And can you see the tail on it?
So you're saying that the builders are purposely putting a serpent into the walls here?
Yes, to remember that as you learn from the serpent, you can have access to the ancestors. You access to the wisdom.
But is it the serpent people who are building this? Are they showing that we are the serpent people and we are the builders?
That's one of the theories.
The stonework serpent is just one of many found embedded within the constructions of the walls around Cusco. Might these depictions suggest a connection at the megalithic site with snake-like beings? Benares, India. Within this city lies the well of Sheshna, which in Hindu legend is an entrance into an underground city of the Nagas, a race of semi-divine serpent people known throughout Eastern culture.
In Benares, the sacred city of India, there is a well, the well of Sheshna.
This is one of the portals to the underground city called Patala, and the Nagas live in this place. It's a place of great power and mystery and some danger, and only the holy can make contact with it.
Patala is the underworld in Hindu mythology. There are many beings that live in there, many reptilians, which are called Nagas. As a demigod, they must have descended from heaven to the earth to teach, to give special qualities to the human world. Nagas are not really evil being as in a Judeo-Christian context.
Okay, let's get to when it was it Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, and he said that thing that you heard him say, and Michael wants to get real specific about this. So basically there were 7 huge craft there. And you said on one of the shows out there, you said that the reptilians actually showed up beneath their craft and they gave the finger.
Okay, they were parked around the side of the crater. Yeah. Okay, they were not parked on it; they were floating above it. Okay, yeah. So there were hundreds of these 9-foot reptilian guys standing with their legs.
Hundreds.
Yeah, they were all the way across the underneath their vehicles, standing on the crater.
Feet, and what do they look like?
They're ugly-looking lizard, alligator type people. They got the same skin as the lizards got. Okay, and terrible-looking faces. But then they have the ability to shift and look like a human. All of them do. Okay?
Okay, do you